Production in action.
What else? Blah blah blah. Ghana grows or cacao. Cocoa? Cacao? Why is it spelled with an O? What? Cacao? Cacao? Pronunciation.
Cocoa.
Cacao? What the hell is cacao then? Cocoa? Cacao? What the hell is cacao? Something is cacao.
Cocoa. Cocoa.
Retard.
Cocoa.
World's second
So why can't it make chocolate?
biggest producer of cocoa. Ghana is the world's second biggest producer of cocoa, but the country only earns about 2% of the $100 billion industry. Cocoa growers here export most of their cocoa beans to Europe and North America, where they're turned into chocolate.
We are shipping out the cocoa in its raw state. And if you look at the value chain of cocoa, money is made in the finished product.
While big chocolate companies rake in billions a year, many cocoa farmers live in poverty, earning just $2 a day. And Ghanaian entrepreneurs like Michael have struggled to open chocolate factories in their home country.
We are trying to decolonize chocolate. This time around, we are saying that it can be done right here in Ghana.
Now, the government is funding efforts to grow a domestic chocolate industry. But can Ghana's entrepreneurs get a bigger share of the profits? We visit a cocoa farm and processing plant to find out. Ghana, together with Ivory Coast, grows over 60% of the world's cocoa. The countries sell to all the big chocolate companies, from Hershey's to Mars to Nestle, which process the beans abroad in mostly Europe and North America.
Pacho, your friend Joseph Bacha, I'm cocoa farming for 18 years ago.
Joseph grows 11 acres of cocoa, and it isn't easy. Farmers battle more extreme weather due to climate change, plant disease, and fatigued land. Every October, he and his family begin harvesting the yellow pods. It takes just 4 days.
But mi traben cocoa nu kakra chain duano na boduano ho ban mi koto mi sorry yeti pains e wo juma no mu pa.
Joseph collects the pods and takes them to the breaking ground. Here, workers crack them open and remove the beans by hand. Joseph uses the leftover pods as compost under his trees.
Ye boy we are ye set ahabai na ye bu.
Joseph then dries the beans for another week. In total, he packs 75 bags of beans a year. His income is about $27 a day. It's a high wage for a Ghanaian farmer, because Joseph grows organic cocoa without pesticides. But many farmers in Ghana live at or below the poverty line, earning less than $2 a day. That's because the majority of farms are small and aren't certified organic, according to Christy, a cocoa scholar nicknamed the Doc of Chalk.
We're talking about really small plots, and this is part of the reason why cocoa farmers are so poor.
But that's not the only reason farmers make so little.
Cocoa's been
I buy
farmed in
factory chocolate only, by the way.
Ghana for over 100 years.
There
are many parts of the country where the land is really fatigued now, and the trees are old.
In the 15th and 16th centuries, Portugal and Spain monopolized cocoa, controlling production and trade from their colonies in Latin America and the Gulf of Guinea. Europe's elite were the biggest customers. The crop arrived in what's now Ghana in 1876. Around the same time, the British declared the southern region a colony and began invading north. Locals own and ran all the small farms, but the raw product was exclusively exported to Europe.
A lot of what we know today as contemporary chocolate really grew out of this trading relationship between Ghana and Britain, including the flavor of chocolate itself.
Although Ghana gained its independence in 1957, its one-way cocoa trade with Europe still exists today. And it's kept farmers at the beginning of the supply chain in poverty for generations. To help raise farmer wages, Ghana and its neighbor Ivory Coast teamed up in 2019.
The two largest cocoa producing countries in the world, and so when they get together on something, everyone has to pay attention.
They introduced the fixed price system, which set a price floor for cocoa. In 2020, Ghana set the price floor at $2,600 a metric ton. That included a $400 premium added to every ton of cocoa.
And this value goes directly to the farmers.
The premium is called the Living Income Differential, or LID. It was the first of its kind in the chocolate industry, and it meant farmers took home nearly 30% more money than the year before. At first, big chocolate companies agreed to pay the LID.
You can't really not buy Ghanaian and Ivorian cocoa, so the big buyers really had no choice.
Nice.
The LID's markup may seem like a lot, but the millions it's raised to combat farmer poverty is a fraction of big chocolate makers' sales. But soon after it launched, reports surfaced accusing Hershey's of buying cocoa without paying the premium.
It's sad to note that these companies who have the resources may not want to abide by this simple appeal.
In an email to Business Insider, the company said Hershey supports and is fully participating in the Living Income Differential. When the corporations do pay, the LID has helped farmers.
It's pushing farmers to even increase their yield. That's how come last year we're able to hit a record 1.2 million tons of beans.
After farmers dry the beans, they're bagged up. About 70% of these beans will be sent overseas. Ghana processes only 30% of its cocoa beans domestically. But in 2020, at a press conference in Switzerland, the president announced he wanted to change that.
We intend to process more and more of our cocoa in our country with the aim of producing more chocolate ourselves.
And he said it right in front of the top commerce ministers of Switzerland, one of Ghana's biggest customers.
That statement in Switzerland caused a lot of controversy, I must say. He clearly mentioned our intentions to put in efforts to also add value within Ghana.
To support cocoa processing inside Ghana, the government created a free zone outside Accra. Any factory operating inside gets a tax break. Lloyd Ashley runs niche cocoa industry in the free zone.
In the free zone enclave, you are getting 10 years free duty on your imported parts for equipment. So it gives you the opportunity to also increase capacity.
Niche has become Ghana's second largest cocoa manufacturer. The company says it processes 10% of the country's cocoa, and Niche processes 2 tons of it an hour. The cocoa beans arrive here from farms all over rural Ghana. Workers stack the bags high, then cut them open one by one.
I love chocolate.
The beans funnel into this grate on the floor. And the rest of the process is controlled digitally, from roasting the beans to grinding them into cocoa mass. That's then sent to get mixed
So anyone
with
who
milk
does not
and sugar.
like chocolate,
And from there, it comes here for a tempering
I don't think there
process,
exists
a cooling
anyone.
process, and then a packaging process.
Niche has been pretty successful, but for small companies
okay.
outside the free zone, it hasn't been as easy to get up and running.
Hello, Amos. Everything okay?
Michael runs Verrk, a cocoa maker that opened in Amanasi to be closer to cocoa farmers. But since it's outside the free zone, it didn't get the tax breaks. Verrk also had trouble buying cocoa beans.
As shocking as that may sound, it's really hard in Ghana to procure cocoa beans.
Another hurdle keeping Ghana's chocolate industry from taking off.
Well, it's very hard to make chocolate in Ghana.
For one, there's no dairy industry.
Anybody producing chocolate in Ghana is definitely importing large volumes of milk from either Europe or other continents.
Chocolate makers also have to import sugar, mostly from Brazil. And finally, it's hot in Ghana.
Chocolate, by its nature, is very sensitive to temperature. Any rise in temperature may cause the chocolate to melt.
There's not the kind of cold chain that you need
Can't afford
to distribute
refrigerators.
chocolate effectively within Ghana or much of West Africa.
And building out that cold chain has been expensive.
We have used insulated building materials for some sections of our building. Some sections of the building is completely insulated roofing sheet.
Also, Ghana's power grid is sometimes unreliable.
Electricity, for example, is another issue here. Although there's power, it's never stable.
Verrk's top sellers are finished chocolate bars. Inside temperature-controlled rooms, this machine pumps the chocolate into molds.
So our installation capacity is 10,000 bars of chocolate every hour.
That's a fraction of what a Hershey's or Mars factory can do. This machine wraps the chocolate bars. With 68 workers, the company's scaling up to produce 50 million bars a year.
The practice has always been that the raw materials are sent to Europe for processing. At this time around, we are saying that it can be done right here in Ghana.
Say a process cocoa no ewo Ghana ha. Ye benya musika a ebeba aban no nsem. Nti ye bema ya kwan be ye let ye electricity nsem be ye hospital
blah blah.
Ton. And they want big